Hello and welcome to my new challenge for this channel. And so what we've got here is a ground monotype challenge, which is going to be probably one of the toughest challenges I think I've done for a while. Mainly because this is not any version of gold, although it might look like a current version of gold according to the title screen, but this is in fact Pokemon Gold HardType, a improvement hack, improvement in inverted commas, by WerewolfyMan on romhacking.net, designed to make the game far more of a challenge. And in his own words, I need to be saving much and building a balanced team, which is obviously going to be a big challenge when I'm limited to one type. But nonetheless, we're going to give it a go. It's going to be interesting, this one, because there's like the obvious sort of issues with ground type. There's a lot of issues with the ground type in terms of they tend to be pretty slow. They tend to have really rubbish defenses just in general, which is a bit annoying, certainly special defense at least, which can be an issue and could well certainly be an issue over the course of this Let's Play. But we're going to see how well we can tackle this. We're going to zip through all this because we've already seen it. I'm pretty sure nothing of this has changed. So I'm just going to zip through this. So we've woken up once more here. There's nothing in our PC this time. There's a TV. We're going to get our mum talking to us about what Professor Elm was talking about. Gives us our poker gear, sorry. It is Sunday. It is daylight saving time. Well, I don't know if it's daylight saving time, I can't remember. Anyway, we get the phone. Cool. And so yeah, it looks like there's not going to be much changed around here in terms of like as far as I know, none of like the dialogue has changed particularly, but I know that levels will have been improved and also wild Pokemon will have changed. So anyway, this guy's saying he gives us a Pokemon so that we can track. We'll take Cyndaquil just for the moment. It really means nothing at the moment because obviously we won't be using any of these Pokemon actually in our final team because none of them do get ground type. Gives us a potion. Yeah, all of this is pretty familiar. 29. We're just going to zip through this as fast as possible. As you can see, already level 8 wild Pokemon. Wow. It makes more sense to run from that. There we go, that's better. Yeah, okay, so it's going to be 3 tackles here. Obviously, yeah, we don't care about leveling up Cyndaquil because Cyndaquil will not play any further part in our team once we get to catching. But if you notice there that we did catch a we didn't catch yet, but we saw a Nidoran there. And obviously Nidoran could well be one of the Pokemon that we use in our team as a Nidoqueen or a Nidoking. They seem to be both male and female as well, which is pretty useful actually. But yeah, we'll have to see. I need to change the... I need to change my options. Text speed is fast. Let's off. There we go. So yeah, obviously, yeah, I mean, I can pretty much just zip through the start of this game. We know what we're doing. We're going off to see Mr. Pokemon about this strange new discovery that he's found, because Professor Elm can't be bothered to do it for us. We'll zip through all this. More Pidgey, Metapod. This is Mr. Pokemon's house, so here we go. We talk to him. He gives us a mystery egg. We've got Professor Oak there, who so It tells us about how Pokemon can be friends. He gives us a Pokedex. He goes off to Goldenrod. He gives us some rest. And Professor Elm rings us because it's been a disaster, and I'm sure we all know what that's from. Certainly from our previous, from the previous Let's Play of Silver. It's a disaster because someone's nicked Pokemon, and that person just turns out to be this guy. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to avoid this battle. We're going to do a couple of layers and then start tackling away. Yeah, we should be able to finish him off. There we go. So we finish off question mark, question mark, question mark. And then we'll just, yeah, again, we'll just continue making our way as fast as possible back to Professor Elm's lab. Sorry for zipping through this, but this bit isn't really the, you know, I want to get into the meat of the, anyway, we need the rival's name. What we're going to call him this time. Let's call him Dom, because why not? So anyway, yeah, so, gives us the Pokemon egg. He gives us, talks about how he thinks that we can, well, how Professor Oak might well think that we're able to, Professor Oak might be able to, well, might well be the one to think that we can take on the champion, as it were. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything here. So Mom can take care of our money as she did last time. That's Professor Elm's house. Yeah, all of this is pretty regular. Anyway, this guy's just going to show us how to catch Pokemon. He catches a Rattata there. So yeah, so we're going to try and catch our first Pokemon pretty quickly, and then we're going to start leveling it up as fast as possible. Do I want a Nidoqueen or a Nidoking is the good question. I have 5 Pokeballs. So yeah, there we go. Catch a female Nidoran. The poison pin Pokemon, the poison hidden in its small horn, is extremely potent. Even a tiny scratch can have fatal results. Oh, okay. So there we go. Our first of these guys, and there's going to be our second. So we catch a pair of Nidoran. Obviously, ideally, you know, I'd be able to use both, but unfortunately, what that would do is that would really hinder any the potential poison type monotype I want to do at a later stage. Which I know is a bit silly. But I've got to sort of, so do I want a female or a male? Do I want a Nidoqueen or a Nidoking? I think for this one, I'm gonna go with Nidoking. We're gonna level him up as fast as possible. See what we can do for this guy. That's actually gonna kill him, isn't it? Oh, it missed. I got lucky. There we go. So there's going to be a fair amount of zipping back and forth between the healing spot and just getting a few levels up. I probably want to get Nidoran up to maybe level... This one does seem faster for some bizarre reason. Maybe I should try catching it and see. Check which one's better, but nah. Okay, yeah, so we're just going to keep doing this for a bit, see how far we can get, there we go, Nidoran's up to level 3, I'm just going to try and get him up to level 5, potentially, and then we'll start making progress, I think. I think I need him to be at least, you know, a half decent level before we can actually, you know, start, like, that Sentry's doing way too much damage. Okay, so we want to tackle, and tackle, and tackle, and I'm going to die. The Sentry are far too strong. That or my defenses are far too low. And another Mankey. So yeah, we're just going to keep doing this for a while. Just before we get right into the meat of this. As you can see, obviously the wild Pokemon distributions are slightly different. Obviously, you don't usually find Nidoran this early on this route, which in my case is useful, obviously, because it means that I have Nidoran here. I can level them up very early and start working towards getting my Nidorino and furthermore a Nidoking. But what it does mean is I won't know exactly where other ground-type Pokemon are. You know, I won't be able to say with certainty where I'll be able to find certain Pokemon, and that could be an issue in terms of, you know, I might need to search several areas over and over again at different times of the day in order to try and find some of the Pokemon I want to add on my team. Which could well be a bit frustrating, but shouldn't be too bad, hopefully. So yeah, here we go. Just going to take out this female Nidoran. There we go, lots of tackle. Hopefully we'll start learning new moves soon. Tackle, there we go, nice crit hit there. We're going to head up. I'm going to get to health now, pretty much. And didn't mean to go into this area, pretty much. Okay, so we're going to heal up, and then we're probably going to head back and just sort of check out what wild Pokemon are available in the route just north of up here. We can go to the berry here. I'm waiting for Pokemon that appear only at night. Okay. So yeah, so we're just going to check here and see if there are any Pokemon here which we can catch. Spearow obviously not being one of them. Or at least we could catch it, but we're not going to. Geodude would be, but is not. Because, unfortunately, we've already used Golem in a previous Let's Play, so we can't use Geodude. According to the rules of my channel, which, more and more am I starting to regret making, in a way. Certainly making things quite a bit harder. But it just forced me to use unique and interesting Pokemon a lot more. And hopefully if you guys are watching, then, you know, maybe you'll see, you know, Let's Plays with Pokemon that you've never really considered for a Let's Play before. And maybe I can show them off to a decent degree, or maybe I'll just prove to you why you've never used them before. We'll see. We'll just zip through this. Okay, it doesn't look like there's much there, just look like Rattata, Geodude, and Spearow, which I think is what there was last time. Whilst we're here, we'll deposit those two in, and we'll concentrate on our Nidoran friend. So, we're going to buy a fair few potions, because I reckon I'm going to need them in this Let's Play. So we're going to see what happens now. We've obviously got that guy over there. So yeah, I'm not going to be as in-depth as I was on my, you know, having... This is far more about the challenge of trying to get through this game without, you know, without failing, essentially. Which, you know, is in itself a challenge, because, as I've said before, this will hopefully be a rather difficult, I meant to give it, not use it. Oh well, sorry, I'm all over the place today. You know, yeah, I'm hoping to really get into the battles of this playthrough, and sort of, the story isn't so important, because obviously it's, far more about how well I can how well I can deal with what's thrown at me in this Let's Play. Level 5 Rattata Hyper Fang. Lovely. Okay. So we take out Joey, and he wants a phone number. We'll register it just in case. And then let's get your Pokemon trainer. Right, you should have to that. Mighty's got a Pidgey. And we'll use Horn Attack. There we go. Obviously, what we don't really want is for why on earth does that Rattata no Skull Bash? Okay, well, we beat him, which is good. So yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see how instead of a bug Pokemon, I found a trainer. It's Bugcatcher Don, who's got a lot of Pokemon. So yeah, I mean, like it'll really depend on what Pokemon we meet and what Pokemon we encounter, what Pokemon we have a chance at battling. This guy seems to have the entire set of first level bug types, and yeah, they're all, you know, all of the sort of the weakest sets of bug types in Paris, Venonat, Caterpie, Weedle, Spinarak, and Ladybug, which is pretty cool. So obviously some of these trainers will have changed their Pokemon set too, which is obviously good to mix things up, keep things interesting. I'm hoping the gym leaders have changed their Pokemon too, although hopefully they're not going to be too devastatingly powerful. Over it comes. Midland learns Double Kick. That's good. That's a good thing to know. So it seems like around here there's a rather large amount of just bug types. Lots of Metapod here. Dark Cave. Pokemon lighten up. I'd explore it. Get Antidote. We could check Dark Cave out to see what's in here. More Geodude. Another Pokemon we can't take care of at the moment. More Zubat. More Zubat. So yeah, it looks like there's not going to be. I mean, I'd be interested in, say, an Onix. The big issue with Onix is that I'm not sure if the guy who's made this hack has adapted the adapted trade-based evolutions to not be trade-based, because that's usually what you find in a lot of hacks. Just because, you know, a lot of people find such features to be rather annoying. Certainly if you're playing a game as old as this, you know, it's very rare that you're going to find something to be able to trade with and then trade back. So self-cure for confusion. So yeah, so what that means is, you know, it could well be this guy's got a Scyther, really. This guy's going to have a Scyther and what, a Pinsir? A Pineco. Pineco, is that rock? It's not very effective. Uses rapid spin. Don't use explosion. Please don't have explosion. Okay, good. Didn't have explosion. And then just a Venonat, okay. I was a bit worried there that he'd have something strong on either of those types there. But he's got Yanma as well, wow. So you're seeing all of the various bug types in these few trainers. Okay, so we get another Pokeball, which is good. But yeah, so that whole trade evolution for Onix to Steelix, which is really the only way you make Steelix, Onix a particularly viable member of this team, if I'm pretty sure. And what that means is, yeah, it could be a bit of an issue if I can't necessarily do that. If I can't evolve it into Steelix because I don't have anyone to trade with and, you know, stuff like that, and it doesn't evolve just they haven't changed the evolution just to work by itself, then that could well be an issue for my team, not having that big physical wall that Steelix certainly is. Could well be a bit of an issue. Okay, so it was you who had a trade, if I remember correctly. So this guy will still trade a Bellsprout for an Onyx. So that is an option. I could do that trade and see what it's like. It's obviously risky though, is the issue, because I have no idea whether really 10-second critical hit. That's a toughie. It's a tough one to say. Just because if I spend all of that experience, you know, trying to level up an Onyx into a Steelix, and then oh, I should have just caught it. What am I? Sorry, I'm talking too much and not thinking about what I'm doing. Yeah, so if I level up, you know, an Onyx, put in all those levels into trying to get it into a Steelix, and then it just doesn't, and it just remains an Onyx, which isn't particularly helpful. That could be an issue. I'm going to catch a Bellsprout anyway and trade it and make sure that I might do some off-screen stuff just to check out, see if it will level. I won't go any further in the game, obviously. But yeah, don't know. It's an early dilemma in this, because I was sort of, you know, Steelix was going to be part of my team, certainly, if I could get it, but now I'm not sure if I can, and that's, that could well be a big issue. Just because there's not many other options I have for what Steelix gives to my team. So if we swap this Bellsprout, and we're going to get back Rocky, or Rocky it was called last time, so we get the Onyx. And it is called Rocky, yeah. It's got holding an item. So it's holding a bit of berry so it doesn't get confused. Okay, so yeah, interesting. I think to finish off this episode, what we're gonna do is, this is the Pokemon Academy. Just, yeah, lots of, that was just the teaching place. That's the gym up there. We won't do the gym today because I think that's moving a bit too fast. You can get a paralyzed Cure Berry there, which is quite useful. She's talking about Sudowoodo over that way. We've got the Mart. We should try and get some more potions. Of course, I have no idea how difficult Faulkner is going to be. Again, I don't expect him to be that difficult, just because it's a really early stage, and I know that, you know. Then again, there are hacks which do, you know, really make these early stages difficult. Anyway, we're going to put Rocky in the front and try and level him up for a bit. He's going to get, we can't level him up past level 10 if I remember correctly, just because we get into the classic traded Pokemon won't obey scenario. So we're going to see what we can do. I'm probably going to level him up to, like, say level 8, and then sort of leave him to see if he can take on a... But you can just see, you know, the reason that I'm doing so little damage here is because Onyx's attack is really, really bad. Like, it's not great at all. And there we go, crit hit. Rocky's up to level 5. And we don't care, Joey. We really don't care. That was more for PP's sake than for healing. I mean, the benefit of the rock type is obviously, you know, resistance to normal type moves. You know, Onyx itself does still have a good defense. But the lack of any offensive capability means that it will, you know, it would fall certainly, it would pale in comparison to, say, something like Rhyhorn or Rhydon, which is the the other rock ground option I've got, I think, for this. That's a bad Pokemon. Mainly because I know that these guys know Vine-Whip. So yeah, we're gonna just see what we get here. Could get this guy up to maybe level 7, and then I'll probably just call it a day once this finishes, and we'll head over to the we either do the gym first or we do Sprout Tower. I think. Okay, there we go. Rocky grew to level 7. Lovely jubbly. We'll save. Okay, it's cool. So I think we're gonna call it an end here. Obviously, you know, the real meat of this Let's Play isn't going to start for a fair while until we really start hitting into the battles and working out how difficult this game is really going to be. And looking at what on earth our team is going to be as well, which is a big issue in this scenario. So we're going to see how we do, and hopefully this will be a nice successful Let's Play. Haven't failed one yet, but yeah, no, this one is worrying me slightly, just in its potential difficulty. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Hope you've enjoyed the idea of this next Let's Play. I hope you join me on the subsequent episodes as we continue our ground monotype challenge.